Hello everybody, it's Kara from Wild Book Garden, and today I'm here with my spoiler-free review for Highcliffe House by Megan Walker. This book I received in exchange for an honest review, so thank you so much to the publisher. I will put content warnings in the description box, and this book has already come out, so you are able to get your hands on it if you're interested, and as I said, this is going to be spoiler-free. So this is a proper romance, and we are following two main characters. It's actually dual POV, which I don't think the author's previous book was, if I'm remembering correctly. So our heroine is Anna Lane, and she is really beautiful and really kind of the cream of the crop as far as like the young women on the marriage market in terms of the London season. And she had been involved with this one man, but just as they were sort of getting ready to be engaged, it came out that he was already engaged to somebody else, which was a pretty big scandal, and Anna was really humiliated about it, so she just wants to like get out of London and go to the seaside with her father to just kind of like forget about everything. But it turns out she can't do that because our other point of view character, Graham Everett, he has been working with her father for a few years now. He helps find like investment opportunities, and he's really like good with them, very careful with them. And so he brings another one to Anna's father, saying that this is going to be a really great opportunity, and it's about investing in Brighton as a sort of like resort town. And for various reasons, Anna's father decides that it's going to be up to Anna to decide if they're going to invest or not. So Anna ends up going to stay with Graham's family for about a week, and that's as long as he has to convince her that the town is a good investment. And to make this even messier, of course, the two of them hate each other for reasons that we kind of find out more about through the book. Of course, a romance develops from there, and I loved this so much. One thing that like kind of impressed me right from the beginning is that I feel like the setup of their dislike of each other, it actually won me over pretty quickly, because initially you get like an idea of why they don't like each other, and it seems a little bit, I don't want to say superficial because it wasn't, but it seemed a little bit out of step with how intense their dislike of each other was. But I feel like that actually started making sense very quickly, and I also think that the short time frame of this book really like worked for me. I still really bought the relationship and the story, and I think part of that is because Megan Walker did such a good job writing their past history that you could see how these small moments would be enough to change the way they see each other and make them realize that they misjudged the other person. And I also really loved both of our main characters. Anna was so interesting because she's this great beauty, you know, and she is very good at being charming and getting people to like her or to, you know, be won over by her, but she doesn't trust people who are like that. Like, she does this because she has to, but she knows that people are always, you know, after her father's money, and she doesn't, because of things that have happened with this man she was involved with previously, she has a really hard time trusting Graham because she views him as being like too charming and too set on winning people over, and that he never drops that facade, whereas Anna is like, at some point, the rest of us do. And then Graham is really interesting as well because we find out that he has had to provide for his whole family. And you guys know, I love a historical fiction working man as the love interest. I love that. And so he has had to really provide for his mother and his sisters for their whole life because their father walked out on them. And he has put everything into getting them a comfortable life, getting them to feel safe and secure, and he feels like he can never turn off his like winning people over sort of thing. And seeing them clash but then start to understand why the other person is the way they are was really satisfying. I also really loved the romance. Like, the relationship between the two of them was so well done. Like, it has a couple tropes I already enjoy, which is like hate to love, and as I said, the like historical fiction working man. So the tropes I think were done really well, but I also just really loved the connection between these two, and their chemistry was really good. I mentioned this is a proper romance, and one of the things that means is that there's no sex scenes, and I think sometimes there can be a perception that those books are not real romance, or that like relationships, like the romance can't be compelling, like they can't have good chemistry, it can't be well done or interesting if there aren't explicit scenes. And I feel like this is one of the books that to me disproves that, because like the kiss scenes, like some of the romantic moments between these two were so much like more effective, more romantic, more well written than like various actual sex scenes I have read in more traditional historical romance. So like that's just, you know, my 2 cents on that. I just thought the romantic element was handled really, really well. I also enjoyed like the humor and just the writing overall. I think Megan Walker did a good job of like writing the setting. I really loved this sort of view of Brighton before it became a big deal, but as it's just starting to become like a tourist destination. I thought that was really fun. I also really loved Graham's family. Like we get to see more of them because of course Anna is staying with them, and I just was really won over by all of them. Anna's father I had some issues with, but he was well written. It was just like I had some problems with his choices and with his what I view as has to be like a willful ignorance of like what Anna was dealing with. But Graham's family was great, and also I think that the historical setting and period was done well. And I always like to say this for books that I think it's true on, because I think sometimes people can be a little hesitant about picking up historical books, but I feel like this one, I think that it kind of hit that perfect balance I like, where there is plenty of like historical detail. You can tell that the author really knows what she's talking about. It feels very grounded, but also those things don't overshadow other elements of the story, and I just really liked that. I also think she did a great job of giving Anna agency and like a strong character and actual like choices and impact on the story, while still acknowledging that in this time period her options would have been different than we had today. I was really impressed with the way that it still felt like Anna was like in charge of her own life, and I really liked that. Of course, part of that is helped by the fact that she is very wealthy and her father does care about her, but I just appreciated that balance there. And then finally, one of my absolute favorite things about this book is that there were like 2 or 3 times, I think, that like I was bracing myself for some of my most hated tropes in romance, that like at this point it's like, what is stronger than a trope? Because I swear these things are in almost every book. It's like the third act breakup, or like the misunderstanding, or the like, I'm leaving you because I care about you, but I'm not going to explain that, I'm just going to act like I don't like you anymore. I hate those things. I think those things are not necessary for a romance that has like believable conflict and a good story, and I love that Megan Walker averted that sort of trope or that setup every single time it happened. That made me so happy. Like they actually used their words like adults, and it was great. While again, still being a great romance and plot and story and everything. So obviously I really loved Highcliffe House. I gave it 5 stars. I just really, really enjoyed it. I found the romance super compelling. Definitely one of my favorites I've read recently. Let me know if you guys are interested or if you've picked it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!